The other big upset of the day, I guess, though it just pales in comparison to the Penn State one, is Texas going down in the swamp and losing to Florida. Sunbelt Billy just coaches better when when his job's on the line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this pick up a huge win, and we're beyond just troubling for Texas offense at this point. It's not just an Arch problem. The offensive line especially just looks really poor. They struggle to protect Arch.
Mm-hmm.
They struggle to run the ball at times.
Sacked 6 times. If you take away Arch Manning's runs, which a ton of them were scrambles, they had 15 rushing yards on 11 carries.
It's downright terrible. And then also, this has been a terrible Florida offense, and this has been a great Texas defense, and they give up 29. And I wasn't locked into that game the whole time, but from the drives I watched, it was Florida looks faster. Florida's finding the edge in the run game. They're finding receivers. Receivers are making big time plays, I will say. The Dallas Wilson was fantastic. The other guys were great.
I'm starting him next week. I don't care if he's playing him. I'm starting him.
Speaking on that, I mean, they had a Hobart Snock level opening drive, 13 plays, 84 yards, 7 minutes, touchdown.
They passed the ball like 2 times on the drive or something?
Yes. The next time they touch it, it's 10 plays, 64 yards, 4 minutes, field goal. They're up 10-0 after the first quarter. Texas touched the ball once in the first quarter. Another scoring drive is 10 plays, 77 yards, 5 minutes, touchdown. They put together scoring drives. And it's something you can't not be shocked at, because we just saw Florida in prime time 2 weeks ago against Miami
not function,
and they could not. What did they? Was it like 3 first downs the entire game or something? It was something.
And it was the week or two before that against LSU where they had 5 interceptions.
Yes, DJ Lagway throws 5 picks against the LSU defense, and this is a defense that's on par, at least at this point, with Miami and LSU, and they were able to just put together drives. It's insane. You can't not be shocked from this. There's just zero chance you can't. And it's not just like you're shocked. For me, it's not a shock that Texas lost.
Yeah, because I'm not shocked Texas lost.
Yeah, it's a shock that Florida played like that.
Yeah,
agreed.
They went out and beat Texas, not Texas beating themselves.
Yeah,
100% agreed.
And that's the thing. Oh, go ahead.
No, you got it.
Like I would push back a little. I don't know if I'd call this. I mean, it wasn't upset by ranking, but Texas just hasn't looked all good all season. And I think Josh Pate said it. If you switch their schedules, it could have very well been Texas that was 2-2 and Florida that was 3-1 or 4-1.
The spread was only 4.5.
Right. And so these teams are both. I would say they're almost identical. Highly talented teams with quarterbacks who were highly touted coming into this year. Both Heisman favorites, up there in the Heisman favorite odds. And then they both just have not looked good all year. DJ with his 5 interceptions against LSU. Arch with his injury rumors and people saying, oh, here are the highlights of him in high school. The tallest player on the other team was 5'3", and weighed 115 pounds. This is why Arch was a 4-star or a 5-star. He was a 5-star. Was he the number 1 quarterback? He was up there. He was great. Or ranked highly.
Yeah.
And so I would say that they're almost identical teams. Texas just had an easier schedule outside of Ohio State, playing every small school in Texas: Sam Houston, UTEP, UTSA, UT, all
or
of
not
them.
UTSA. They played San Jose State.
Yes, and then
instead.
UTSA, and then Florida plays Miami. Florida plays USF, who they should not have lost that game. But there's a possibility Texas in that game loses that game. USF they went out and balled and they won it. Texas has put up doo-doo games against lesser opponents too. So I think they're the same team. So that's what I'll say to this being an upset. And then
I feel like it definitely was an upset though, in terms of if the average person looked at that game, they immediately went, Texas has that game. That's Texas game, and doesn't really think twice about it.
yeah.
It definitely was an upset. It was not a massive upset, but that's a big result in the swamp, and it shakes things up in a big way in the college football landscape.
Yeah, and then another thing that I'll say, Arch does not see the field well. It's even when he has time. There's one throw specifically where he does it like a lot of times he got pressured and would scramble, but there's one where he steps up in the pocket and it's kind of good, and then he just throws the ball to the safety. He had time, he had the area, the room to get in the throw and try and make a good throw, and he just slung it to a safety. And I was like, there was no one in his face. There was an open wide receiver and he just missed him. Like this is if you're at the nuclear reactor controller, everything's hissing, all the lights are beaming.
Yeah.
You see people running around with hazmat suits, like evacuation alarms are going off. It's bad. I was really surprised that we didn't see a backup play because I do think we're getting to the point where Arch is a large part of the problem. Like I get there are other parts that are part of the problem, but I think Arch is playing bad in his own right. I don't think you give Arch a good O-line. I don't think that he's missing open wide receiver.
He made a couple mistakes. I think that was Arch's best game of the season.
It was still a bad game.
I think he played fine. It was an average game. He missed some guys. He was getting destroyed all night. He hit a couple deep shots. He hits Parker Livingston down the seam, and then Parker Livingston loses his leg for it, basically.
Yeah.
Hits Ryan Wingo in the end zone. He's not playing great, but in that game, at least, he was not bad enough to warrant putting a backup in behind that O-line.
But the number of ones he missed, I don't know. He just missed too many to be a starting quarterback for Texas, in my opinion. He had the one, so there's the one where he throws it to the safety, and then there's the other one where he steps in the pocket, it opens, and he steps up, and there's a guy just streaking towards the left corner of the field. He's beat his guy by 3 yards, and Arch just tucks and runs. I think that, like, when you're tight end, I think it was his tight end, has his arm up, like, calling, like, hit me over the top, you've got to see that as a starting quarterback.
I mean,
when the waters have parted and you are stepping up to like try and check for a downfield shot before you take off, you need to see that guy instead of just taking off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to defend him and say he plays great. It actually brings me, as an A&M fan, joy that this is what's happening to Texas currently.
I agree.
Yeah,
As a Manning hater.
Sure, but just like, I don't think he was. There's just too many other issues. A backup is going to come in and have the same problems.
I don't think it would have made sense to either.
At least make the change and give the backup some reps in practice or something.
yeah.
And also, if you just go off the data you had at this point in the season, in the first game of the season, you were struggling against Ohio State. You had, 42 passing yards going to the fourth
Something like
quarter. And then Arch kind of locked in, and he got up to about 200 passing yards and played well in the fourth quarter. They had the ball with a chance to go take the lead in the shoe. So you have seen that already against superior competition on the road. I think Sarkisian would think that he was expecting that to not that he was expecting that to happen again, but he knows his quarterback is capable of doing that. And it's Arch's team as far as I'm concerned, as far as they're concerned. So it's a big part of it too. Like, you don't take Chapin out at the end of the state A&M game because it's Chapin's job, it's Chapin's team. And then also their backup, Matthew Caldwell.
He's not good.
He's not that great.
He's got one season over 1,000 passing yards. He's got one season with double-digit touchdowns, and it was like 13-8 touchdown interceptions.
He's played at Jacksonville State, Gardner-Webb for 2 years, and Troy. Across those 4 years, he has 21 touchdowns to 15 picks. So, yeah, nothing.
But do you think that's where they'd go, or do they go to the 4-star redshirt freshman?
I just keep playing Arch because at
KJ,
this point, I think you would play Arch again next year.
You can't. You
Next
also
year too.
You can't.
Uh-huh.
Not that this should be what makes your decision, but Arch is a Manning, and he came in to take this job. If you bench him, I think you're going to catch a lot of heat for it, and it's going to potentially hurt recruiting, and it's going to hurt a lot of relationships in the space.
Yeah.
It's just gonna really be a long-term poor decision, in my opinion. Like, the Manning family, they're gonna be pissed.
Yeah, 2 points on that. One, this isn't gonna go like Josh Heupel and Nico went, where everyone's gonna be behind Josh Heupel if they, for whatever reason, Arch transfers because of relationships there. That's just not how this is gonna go whatsoever. Inside that fan base, inside that state, that donor base, like, it's just not gonna go that way. And two, to back up Arch, the two bad. He's looked bad in the other games. I don't disagree with that, but the two losses at least are against two elite defenses on the road, and he's starting in his like 6th or 7th college football game ever. So he just doesn't have that experience built up whatsoever. So I give it some time. Like we all expected him to be great. Like that.
Not we all. I was like, I think he's gonna be average.
I think the expectations for him to be great were completely understandable.
Agreed.
Because of what he had shown at that point, and because of the name on the back of his jersey. And so he hasn't lived up to that whatsoever. But give him some time, because I don't think it's his job still, clearly, and he's young. And the two bad games, the two losses were against Florida's defense on the road in the swamp, Ohio State's defense on the road in the shoe. I don't think a lot of quarterbacks play well in either of those scenarios.
No, most don't.
But he's played terrible. He's lost all of his draft stock at this point, at least. The people that put him as Heisman favorite, and Dan Orlovsky, who said he's the most talented quarterback on the planet, are obviously, those are the ones you should go after, not necessarily the people that I'll say, like, I just expected him to be great because of who he is and where he's coming from.
Who he is, where he's coming from,
what he's shown,
where he was at. I mean, that's Steve Sarkisian,
in Texas,
supposed QB whisperer, and Arch had sat there for multiple years.
Like,
it's
I
weird.
feel that way with Tiger Woods' son, Charlie Woods, right now. Like, I just expect him to be great because he's Tiger Woods' kid, and he's shown that he's been good, and he has Tiger Woods as his golf coach. Like, all of those things just kind of back him up, and
Sure.
it's like you would just expect it to happen. So it's disappointing that it's not for Arch right now at this point. But it's still, I still think it's his job going forward, and he's still got a chance to grow a ton. But credit to you, Sanders, for saying he wasn't going to be good, and he has not been good so far at this point in the season. Texas is unranked.
Yeah, I don't remember my exact
I
take
think
on
you
him.
said,
I'd have to go
I
back
think you
and
said
watch.
good, but not great.
Yeah, I'm not going to be like, oh, I saw this coming. I just remember like definitely being the lowest in the three.
You were
of us.
100% the lowest.
Have
of
you
the
seen
three
the
of us.
spread for Oklahoma, Texas?
4.5?
Mateer's out, right?
Mateer's basically out.
We're assuming
What do you think it is?
it's Oklahoma at home.
It's the Cotton Bowl.
Oh, thank you. So it's at Dallas. Is it at the Dallas Cowboy Stadium? Is that right?
Jerry
No,
World?
it's at the Cotton
Oh,
Bowl.
yeah, duh.
At the State Fair.
That's right.
It's in Dallas, though, technically.
Oklahoma will be favored by with no. You said 4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're saying Oklahoma favored by 4.5?
Oklahoma's
It's Texas
favored.
4.5.
It's Texas -3 right now.
No way. What?
That at least one of my lines.
What are we doing?
The ESPN line.
They're saying no Mateer's a big deal.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. They scored 44
the
with Michael
ESPN line
Hawkins
is
at quarterback.
2.5.
Didn't
Texas.
didn't cover.